Here are some top tips about teaching algebra to adult learners. These came out of NALA's recent research into the teaching of adult numeracy. You can read the full report, What Really Counts Next, on NALA's website. It's important with algebra to introduce thinking that will help learners eventually to understand some of the more complex concepts. You should do this early on in a program and throughout the program, even if you don't use the language of algebra at first. You can bring in sums with missing numbers, such as 3 plus what gives you 12. Or you could bring in worded problems, such as if 34 people voted yes and 70 people voted in all, how many voted no? You can introduce algebraic concepts such as the collecting together of like terms. One tutor in NALA's recent research used an example she developed and called the pocket example. In this example, she puts keys, coins, pens, and other objects in her jacket pockets. She then draws out one object at a time. If she brings out a pen and then a second pen, she'll say, "What do I have here?" The learners answer, 2 pens. She then brings out a key and a coin. She says, "What do I have here?" They have a key and a coin. These cannot be added together. She then refers back to this visual example with her learners when they are struggling to understand like terms. As tutors, we often want to make topics meaningful by teaching them within contexts that are meaningful for learners. This is tricky with more complex topics such as algebra, but if your learners are interested in sport, consider writing simple formulas for working out the score of a game. One example from the research used a game of snooker. You know the yellow ball is worth 2 points, but you don't know how many times it'll be potted in a match. If it's potted 7 times, then we score 7 multiplied by 2. You could do this for all the balls in the match and add the numbers together to get the overall scores for each player. Sometimes learners enjoy watching videos that they can re-watch. Check out the Tech Math, TECMATH, channel on YouTube, where there's an introduction to the basic concepts of algebra called Algebra Introduction - The Basics.